my god, my throat. Hi, loves. Hi. So, you guys probably know from the intro, but I decided to change up my teaching method a little bit because, well, the teaching method that I was using before this, which is also the same as the teaching method that I used in the first two Korean lesson videos, and to some extent the Let's Learn History video, which is like a sub lesson of sorts. It didn't really work out in this context because I got really tired of it after a while of editing, as well as it didn't really I'm not really happy with it. So I decided to change it up a little bit. So I decided to do this sort of like manual teaching method or something like that. Like I show my book and stuff, show a book and everything like right here to you guys, so that one, it would be faster, and two, well, actually I don't know why I said it would be faster, but like I hope it will be faster, because the voiceover that I recorded for my Korean alphabet video, it was an hour long, so to speak. So, and I know you guys don't want to be sitting down for an hour learning Korean alphabet. That would be super boring. So I think I'll just go over each consonant like pretty briefly, but pretty intensively, so that you guys can watch it and stuff like that. You can watch it, and you can watch it in a very short time. You can also learn in a very short time. As always, you don't have to learn this like the first time round, because some people's learning levels are different, so it's okay for you to be repeating certain sections or repeating the entire video if you want to learn the alphabet properly. As much as learning content matters, what also matters is your practice and your ability to keep on learning and keep on practicing your Korean skills, so that the skill would be maintained for the long run, if you know what I mean. So it would be maintained better for the long run. So yeah. So today we're going to be learning the Korean alphabet. Now, as you can see on my sticky notes over here, it's covering something else that I was doing. It was for another video, another genre breakdown video that I was doing, which I'm not going to show you guys who I'm working on, but actually if you guys have seen my poll, you probably already have guessed who won the poll, but I'm still not going to show you guys what I'm doing with this, so I just covered it with my sticky notes over here. So the Korean alphabet constitutes of 19 consonants and 21 vowels. Now, the reason why I did like this breakdown over here is because there are what I called, oh actually, wait, hold on, ignore this, wait, I did something wrong, shit. Yeah, I ignored this part because I was doing something wrong with it. I miscalculated a little bit, but yeah. So 19 consonants and 21 vowels. Now, the breakdown over here is that the 19 consonants are constituting of 4 what I call primary vowels. I put a first over here because I don't have any space to put primary, and 5 secondary vowels, which we will get into in a later bit. I'll explain in detail what is the primary and secondary vowels mean. Primary and secondary consonants mean. You guys will know there's going to be a lot of like slight swearing in this video, so you consider yourself warned.
Oh, son of a gun.
And there's 21 vowels. So initially I wrote the first, secondary, and primary and secondary, but I don't think that's kind of applicable in this one because I got the countings wrong. Let me just count real quick how many primary and secondary are there. Okay, so after I did like a brief like count of like the primary and secondary consonants, it was 14 primary consonants and 7 secondary consonants. So yeah, we're gonna get into those in a later bit, but essentially this is all you need to know. This is for the general rundown of the Korean alphabet so far. So now that you got, well, the general gist of the the count of the Korean alphabet style, I would say that learning Korean alphabets is pretty dang simple, because unlike Chinese, where it's basically like a tonal language, like several words have like different yin for different word, like the different yin would affect the meaning of different words, which is ultimately a bit more complicated to learn. Korean is definitely easier to learn, because learning the Korean alphabet is like learning the English alphabet. If you are able to put certain words together, you're able to put together words pretty fast, pretty like efficiently and quickly, and that makes it a lot more easier and faster to learn. So yeah, let's move on to the first part of the alphabets, which is the consonants. So as you can see right here, hold on, shit. Okay, as you can see right here, this is the general breakdown of the consonants. Of all the consonants in this Korean alphabet overall, as you can see right here. So I've separated them into primary and secondary vowels. So the primary vowels are the wait, why do I keep saying vowels? It's consonants. This one is the primary consonants and the secondary consonants. Okay, I need to keep remembering that, why I keep saying vowels. Okay, so the primary consonants are the ones where R just exists like on its own, like this, like it's just one singular character, like for example your G, your N, your O, etc. And your secondary vowel, wait, God, why the secondary your secondary consonants are the ones where there are doubles of certain consonants, like this, so that it'll create a more, I guess you could say, like a sharper and brisk sound, which I'll explain later. But for now, let's learn the primary consonants. So now each of the consonants have their own names. Singles or vowels, I don't know, wait. Consonants have their own names, vowels don't have their own names, it's just like literally sounds, but like consonants have their own names. For the purpose of this video, I don't think you'll be learning the names of each of the vowels. Like this one is your kiok, this one is your nian, this one is your tigut, and so forth. This is li, liel, liel, mium, and so forth. But you will not be learning this for the sake of this video, because that would be overcomplicating, and you just need to know which Korean consonant corresponds to which English consonants. So here's a brief rundown on each of the ones. So this one is the letter G and K. G and K. This is pronounced as G or K. G or K. All right. Next is this one, which is the letter N, and is pronounced as an N sound. N. Next is this one, which is the letter D, and is pronounced with a D sound. D. D. Next is this one, which is pronounced with an R or L sound. Now the from some sources that I saw, it says that this one is pronounced with like it's pronounced between R and L, but I think like the pronunciation between R and L, like R and L, like you can definitely like use either one of the pronunciations of R and L over here, because it's basically almost the same letter. So this letter would be pronounced as either R or L, so R or L. Next is this one, the mouth shape one. This is definitely the way you can remember it, and this one is pronounced as this is the letter M, and it's pronounced with an sound. Alright, next is this one. This one is the letter B, and it's pronounced with the B sound. B. B. Next is this one, and this one is pronounced with an S sound. Wait, hold on. This is the letter S. This is the letter S, and it's pronounced with an S sound. S. S. It's pronounced the S sound, okay? S. Alright? So it's the same way as the letter S, right? So next is this one. Now pay attention with this for this part right here. So this one is the circle looking alphabet right over here. Now if you So this one has two uses. So the first use is the ng, like as in like ng ending right over here. So what I mean by ng is that, let's say we have a word like this. So I'm writing this word. Hold on. I'm writing this word over here, and this one is the mixture of the letters S, A, and G, and it's pronounced as sang. So this ng part of the word right over here comes from this letter. So it comes from the circle letter, so it adds an ng sound behind like a word, like let's say running or swimming or jumping. The ng sound, that's the sound that is made by the circle letter. So that's one of the ways to use it. And the second way to use it is complement to a vowel. Now what I mean by complement to a vowel is that basically, I'll go over this more in the next section, but basically a complement to a vowel is like, you know, these like vowels over here are pretty like lonely as heck, and they need a friend, so you gotta put like the circle in front of them to make them more complete. So that's basically what the O does. Like for example, like you can't just write this vowel on its own. It's pretty dinky looking, I would say. I'm so sorry if I say that. Okay, it's pretty lonely, isn't it? So by adding the circle in the front, like let's say I write the letter A and I put a circle in the front, it becomes more complete like this. So this one is the ah sound, and it becomes more complete once I put the circle in the front. You can't just write it on its own like this. It's wrong. You have to write it like this, which is more complete. Right? So that's basically what the consonant does. So the consonant is an ng sound or a complement to a vowel. Next is this letter, and it's the letter J, and it's pronounced with a j sound. J. J. Next is this letter, which is the letter CH, which has a ch sound. Ch. Ch. Kind of like the Chia commercial. I don't know if anyone knows that, but I mean that's what I initially said in my like original lesson plan, but yeah, you guys know. Yeah, so this one is a ch sound. Ch. Next is this one. This one is the letter K, and it's pronounced with a k sound. K. Now earlier this letter also is like the letter G and K, but I think you can just briefly just ignore the K for a bit, because it definitely has like a more sharper G sound, like a G sound, rather than a G, like a sharper G sound. Think of it as like a sharper G sound rather than a K sound, because K belongs to this letter over here. So this one with a singular line in the middle is the letter K. So K. Next is this one, and this one is the letter T. So, and it's pronounced with a T sound. T. T. Focus. Okay. Next we have this one, which is the letter P, and it's pronounced with a P sound. P. And last, for the primary consonants, this one is the letter H, and it's pronounced with a H sound. H. H. So let's go over one more time. So this is the letter G. Hold on. This is letter G, G, N, N, D, D, R or L, R or U, M, M, B, B, S, S, N, and G, or complement to a vowel, J, J, CH, Ch, K, K, T, T, P, P, and H, H. Alright, so that's all the primary consonants. Let's go over this one more time for you guys to see it. Awesome. Alright, so let's go on to the secondary consonants. Now, the secondary consonants are these babies over here, which constitutes of these 5 letters, the G, D, B, S, and J sound. Now, what the secondary consonants does is that it has a sharper and brisk sound when you pronounce them. Like instead of the g in this one is pronounced as a k sound, like a sharper k sound, like very very just sharp and brisk. I think that's the best way for me to describe it. So this one is the secondary letter G, and it's pronounced with a k sound. Like this one has like a double K sound. So when you pronounce G with a more like sharper sound, it has a sharp K sound. So it's a k sound. K. Like k, k, k. I think you just heard like 5 different pronunciations of this, but like you just need to know that it has like a sharp G sound. So, or a sharp K sound, whichever. Okay. So next is this one. This is the secondary letter D, and it's pronounced with a D sound, like a sharp D sound. So this one is D. This one is D. D. Think of it as like you're like a woodpecker, like pecking on wood like this. What am I doing? Okay. So this one is a sharper D sound. So it's D. Next is this letter, which is the secondary letter B, and it's pronounced with a B sound, like a sharp P sound, because when you pronounce the B word sharply, it has a sharp P sound or sharp B sound, so it's B, B. Next is this letter, which is the secondary letter S, and it's pronounced with a S sound, so it's a sharp letter S, so it's S, this kind of sound. So instead of S in this primary letter, secondary is like sharper. S, S. Okay, like a snake attacking people. Alright, last is this one, and it's the letter secondary letter J, and it pronounces a J sound, like a sharp letter J sound. J, J. Okay, so that's all 5 secondary vowels over here. This one with like double of the primary vowel. So let's go over it one more time. Hold on, where's my pencil? Okay, so this one is the primary letter. Wait, this is the secondary letter K, and it's pronounced, this is the secondary letter G, and it's pronounced with a G sound. G. Secondary letter D, and it's pronounced with a D sound. D. Secondary letter B with a B sound. B. Secondary letter S with a Ts sound. Ts. And finally, secondary letter J with a D sound. D. Alright, so these are all the secondary consonants in a glance. Awesome! Alright, so that's it for the first part of the Korean alphabet. Now let's move on to the second part. I need to set up for the next page real quick, so we'll be right back.
No way. I'm gonna get you out of here. I promise you, I'm gonna get you out of there. You don't belong in there. I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna get you out of there. I'm gonna do everything it takes to make sure you get out of there. You don't belong in there.
I'm back! Alright, so this is the second part of the lesson, which is the vowels. Sorry, earlier I was watching VAV's latest music video, and just, it's really good, I have to say. It's really good, but that's not what you guys are here for. But if you guys want to know, VAV's new song is really good. Very symphonic, very future poppy, that kind of stuff. It's like a more subdued version of like Intuit's debut song, or like something along the lines of Yua's solo debut, I would say. So if you guys are into these two songs, definitely go give VAV's new song a listen. It's called Made for Two, but that's my tangent is over. Let's get back to the lesson. So this time we're looking into vowels. Okay, so there are more vowels to learn than consonants, but I think you guys can manage it pretty well. So yeah, let's get right into it. So earlier we established that we have to put the circle in the front of every vowel in order to complete it, because you can't write them on their own like this. So what you guys see in front, please don't write if they want to write these vowels on their own, please don't write them like this. At least add a circle in the front like this. So yeah, so for example, if you were to write this vowel, add a circle in the front like this. Yep. So that's the way to go. So let's go into it. So the first vowel we're learning is a. This is the a sound. A. It's pronounced as a, as in ah. The batteries, the 3 batteries meme. Next is this vowel, and it's pronounced as ya. Oh no, why is it so bright? Ah! Shit, why it got so bright? Ah! I think I got the brightness down. Okay. So, second letter is the letter ya. It's pronounced as ya. If you can see right here, it has 2 lines as opposed to the ah sound. So, yeah, any other vowel with 2 lines in there, it's gonna have a y in the front. So, ya. Next is this letter, it's pronounced as o, as in like if you're trying to think of words in the middle, you say that's how you pronounce it. Next is this letter. It's very ugly, so I'm just gonna rewrite that real quick. It looks like this. Yep, it looks like this. And it's pronounced as yo. So it's like o in the front, but it's pronounced as yo. Alright. Next is this letter, and it's pronounced as O, like the letter O, like O sound, O, O. Alright. And this letter below it, with 2 lines, is pronounced as yo, as in yo guys, sup. That kind of yo. So O and yo. Right? Next is this one. I realized it looks like TOO, like TOO, the K-pop group. Okay. So this is pronounced as oo, as in ooh wee, Mr. Poopy Butthole. So oo. And this one below it with 2 lines is pronounced as you, as in you. Soldier boy, tell him. I'm cringy. Right. So oo and you. Next is this letter, and it's pronounced as like that kind of sound, like when you're disgusted and stuff. So it's pronounced as and this one is pronounced as e, as in the letter E, but like it's the letter I obviously, but it's pronounced as e. So e. Let's move on to the second row. So this one is the second row, not necessarily the secondary consonants yet. I think the secondary consonants, like dividers right here. Close enough. Okay, so this one is the eh sound. Eh. It's not like, now this one will get confused with later in these two, which we'll get into a bit. But this one is eh, and this one with 2 lines is pronounced as ye. Okay, next, this is where it gets a bit confusing. These 4 are kind of like the confusing bunch, like the Brady bunch, but the confusing bunch. Okay. So this one is the eh sound. So eh. It's different from this one in the sense that this one is eh. Like eh. Like if you're trying to pronounce it, like it's like the letter A. Oh shit. It's just like the letter A in the front. Like A. You say the letter A, and then you add the eh sound at the back. So it's eh. This one is like slightly like sound. So and you know, I don't know how to explain this in a way that makes the most sense, but basically this one is more of like a like when it comes from the front of your throat, while the sound is definitely comes from the front of your teeth. So or like the front of your nose. So this is how you remember how you pronounce it. So this one basically comes from the front of your throat. So and this one is from the front of your nose. So So throat and nose. Okay. Next is this one is spelled as yeah, like yeah. So yeah. It's different from this one. It's yeah versus yeah. Alright, so that's it for the primary vowels. Let's go over them real quick. So this one is a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, I, ye, and ye. Okay, so from the crudely drawn divider over here, we're going to move on to the secondary vowels. So the secondary vowels are vowels that are a combination of two of the primary vowels over here. So you can see that this one and this one is a mixture of O and A over here. So this one is pronounced as wa, as in wa, like Wario, Waluigi, that kind of wa. So that's pronounced wa, like wa. God, okay. Next is we. This is a very common Korean word as well. You hear people say we often, as in if you listen to like Bang Ye-dam's Weo, that's the word we. So it's the combination between the words o and e. So it's pronounced as we. We. Now this one is where it gets a little bit complicated because the pronunciation of this and this is technically almost the same. So this one is the combination between the letters O and I. So you would think that it's pronounced as we, but actually it's pronounced as we. 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 Now the differentiation between these two is that this one definitely has that we sound, like the earlier the e sound. But the way to remember this is that it definitely has like a more we, like wi, we, like this wi. It has that we sound, but you pronounce it like we. So it's pronounced as a weh sound. Like a very like elongated we sound, we sound. So it's we. It's not focusing. It's not focusing. Okay, so it's pronounced with a we sound. So it's not like we, but it's we. Like it's definitely like an elongated, like we, but like not we. It's just we. Like you try to elongate the pronunciation a little bit, if that makes sense. So I just realized this has 3 E's as well, and I'm trying not to make a weekly reference, but that's basically how I pronounce it. So next we have this letter, which is a combination between the U and O sound. So it's pronounced as wo. Wo. Wo I ni wo, that kind of stuff. So wo. Next is this one, and it's pronounced as we. Now this one is the combination between U and e, and this one is different from this one because from the earlier one definitely has a we sound. This one has a we sound, like a shorter we sound. So this one has a we. Like this one comes from your we, like the back of your throat, versus this one where it comes from the front of your nose, the front of your teeth. So it's we. Next is this one, and it's pronounced as we. We is this combination between U and E. So it's pronounced as we. We. Last but not least is this one. Now this one is a combination between these two over here, the U and E. And it's pronounced as le. Le. Or we. Now I have to be honest right here. Till this day, I still have no idea how to properly pronounce this vowel. So if any of you know how to, like, what's the most accurate pronunciation for this, please let me know, because I still can't pronounce this properly. I think I pronounce this as "ui," as in, you know, wait, what's the best example? Like, some people pronounce it as "ue," some people pronounce it as "ui." I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I think like ui is the makes most sense for me because it's the and e sound, so it's ui. But definitely heard people pronounce it as le as well. I don't know, but for now, this is pronounced as ui. Alright, so going over each of the secondary vowels, we have wa, we, wo, we, and li. Alright, so that's all the vowels that we will learn for this section, and now let's move on to the next section, which is kind of brief, but I'm going to teach you guys how to put together words and consonants and vowels to form small words. So like a spelling segment. So catch you next segment. Okay, so now we're at the final segment of the video over here. So this is pretty brief, but I'm going to teach you guys how to put together the... Oh no, the sticky note fell off. The consonants and the vowels to create certain words and spell them out. So it's like the English language, like you put like consonants and vowels together and you spell them out, you sound them out, and it'll create the word and something like that. So let's try and spell some simple words real quick. So first and foremost, let's try and spell out the word sa. So sa, if you're thinking of how to write sa, you think of the letter S and the letter A and you just write them together. So the letter S is this, plus the letter A, which is this one, which you get sa. So this one is the word sa, right? Pretty easy so far? Okay, so this is the basic way on how to write Korean. It's pretty simple. You just think of what you want to write, sound them out, write the letters together, put them in a word, and bada bing bada boom, you made a word. Okay, so let's migrate into something slightly difficult. So I want to spell the word Bing. So Bing, so it's B-I-N-G, Bing. So we just need the letters B. So this is B plus E, which is the letter I, plus this circle thing, which gives us the NG sound. So we'll get Ping. Ta-da! So this is the word Bing. Bing. So it's this plus this plus this equals this. So usually this one, if you want to write the NG, it will always go to the bottom, always. Right, next word, I want to do a little bit more complicated, but I want to spell the word shui. Sui. So sui. So it's S-W-I. So I need the letters S. And I need the secondary vowel we. So I need the U and E sound. This. So combine them together, you'll get the word sui. Ta-da! So it's same. This one will go on top of here. So it's makes this word sui. Alright. Now here's a big boy, big brain word, but I want to write the word tak. Tak. Now that word is pretty like hard to pronounce. It's basically these four letters together. So it's the letters D plus A plus L plus G. So you'll get this word. Tak. Tak. Okay, so this is how you write words with like 4 different letters at once. So this is the word tak. It's D-A-L-K or D-A-L-G, but it's pronounced as tak. Like tak means chicken in Korean, so this is tak. So these are the quick ways on how to put together your own words. But if you guys want to practice putting words together, I have linked a handy dandy practice sheet for you guys to do in the description down below, so that you guys can practice like spelling out the words and do the and you'll be able to spell them in no time. Make sure you do the practice sheet, because this will definitely help you like enhance your understanding on how to spell certain words like these. And yeah, I'll link that PDF link in a Google Drive folder in the description down below. Inside the Google Drive folder, I also added the handy dandy alphabet guide, like an alphabet sheet, learning sheet, so that you guys can also learn the alphabets in that sheet. So inside that sheet, you'll have like ways on how to remember which letter is which, and all of like the vowels, consonants, everything. So make sure to check those out if you want to keep on learning the alphabets. I have the alphabet sheet, the alphabet guide, as well as the practice sheet for you guys to do. If you guys, I'm not gonna do this like a exercise kind of thing, like oh students, make sure you do the exercise sheet and hand it to me by next Monday. No. I advise you guys to do it in your own spare time. However, if you guys want to ask me questions about the practice sheet, or just anything about Korean spelling or Korean alphabet in general, just shoot me a question in the comments down below, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Just know that we are all learning here. I'm also learning here, so my teaching method may not be the most perfect that you'll see on this platform, but I really want to teach you guys this because it's going to serve as a good foundation to how to read and write and spell in Korean in the future. So this will definitely help you in the long shot if you keep on practicing. So yeah, let me just set up my outro real quick. Hold on, I need to set up the outro. Wait, how do I set up the outro? This will do. This will do. Right. I just realized the sticky note is in the shape of a heart. You guys know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean by that. Alright, so that's it for today's lesson. I hope you guys find this lesson beneficial in any way. I hope you guys find it useful. Again, thank you so much for watching this. I'll probably do more Korean lesson content in the future after this. Maybe in this format. Who knows? But yeah, definitely keep a lookout for that. I'm really sorry for not like frequently posting like Korean lessons in between, but yeah, definitely look out for more Korean lesson content in the future. I do also have like several lessons, like video lessons planned, as well as be on the lookout for my community posts where I post weekly Korean lessons. On there, like every single Saturday, I will post a new Korean lesson. Well, Saturday in my time, like Malaysian time, but I don't know what time is it Malaysian time, but I think it'll still be Friday in wherever you live, or Saturday depending on where you live, but just do the math. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, be excellent to each other, everyone. Take care. Bye, loves.